So let us see one of the important model in our design of compression members, that is model number 2. So design a steel column using a single I section to carry an axial load of P kilonewtons and end conditions are given and whose length is L meters and yield stress is Fy. So what is the difference between model number 1 and model number 2? Let us see. In model number 1, directly when some I section is given, you have to find the design compressive strength. Whereas in model number 2, design compressive strength is given. Directly design compressive strength is given. We don't know what sort of I section that we have to use. So by using this design compressive strength, we have to find which type of I section is suitable for designing. Again, for this concerned I section, again we have to design compressive strength. Again we have to design compressive strength. So what is the major difference between model number 1 and model number 2? In model number 1, directly I section is given, directly you have to find compressive strength. Whereas in model number 2, directly design strength is given. For this design strength, we have to find the suitable I section. Then for the suitable I section, again we have to find this design compressive strength. From this I section, the design procedure is similar to our model number 1. So we are going to get a question like model number 2. Design a steel column carrying a single I section which carries an axial load of P kilonewtons and end conditions are given, whose length is L meters and yield stress is given. So let us see. So we have to remember some important assumptions. So assumptions. So these assumptions are very important. So we have to assume that some important values that play an important role in solving some numerical questions. Whereas for single role I section, we have to assume the value of design compressive stress from 100 to 135 Newton per mm square. It is constant value. We can assume from the value of FCD lies between 100 and 135. We have to assume either 100 or 101, 110, 120 within 135. This is for single I section. Whereas for angle strut, we have to assume the value of FCD as 90 Newton per mm square. 90 Newton per mm square. Whereas the columns which are bearing high loads or compression members which are carrying large loads, then we have to assume the value of FCD as 200 Newton per mm square. For single I section, we can assume in between 100 and 135. If it is for angle strut, it is 90 Newton per mm square. For compression members carrying larger loads, the value of FCD is 200 per Newton per mm square. So these assumptions are very important in solving our model number 2. First and foremost step. Step number 1. Given data. So in this question or in this type of question, compressive strength is given. Compressive strength, that is PD, whose units are newtons or kilonewtons. So this design compressive strength we have to convert into factor load. Factor load PF is equal to, so 1.5 is multiplied with design compressive strength. So if you are going to multiply 1.5 for this design compressive strength, then it's transformed into factor load. So this is our first and foremost step. So our second step, step number 2. So now we have to assume some values that we have discussed in previous case. So for a single I section, the value of FCD We can assume from 100 to 135 Newton per mm square. So this is our step number 2. So what is our step number 2? We have to assume design compressive stress. This is called as design compressive stress. FCD is called as design compressive stress. So we have to assume one design compressive stress. That is our step 2. It lies between 100 and 135. We can take 101 or 110, 120, 135, anything. But the value must be in between 100 and 135. This is our step 2. Step 3. Step 3 is very, very important. Step 3. Step 3. Required area of the section. Required area of the section. Required area of the section. So A is equal to factor load is multiplied with this assumption, that is design compressive stress. So that is nothing but 1.5 into PD. PD is nothing but compressive strength that is given in the question divided by FCD. So this value we have assumed in between 100 to 135. So area is nothing but factor load is divided with factor load is divided with design compressive stress. So by solving this, we're going to get one area. So this area plays an important role in designing I section. So based upon this area, we have to select one suitable I section from steel table book. So what is our step 4? Step 4. Selection of I section. Selection of I section. So how we are going to select suitable I section? Based upon which value? Based upon step 3. That is, so based upon area obtained from our step 3, we have to select suitable I section. We have to select suitable I section from steel table book. Steel table book. So based upon what parameters you are going to select this suitable I section? Based upon the area obtained. So based upon this area, we have to select suitable I section. So you may get doubt. So which section we have to select? We can select ISHB, or we can also select ISMB, but we need to select only one section, or ISLB. Any section we can select. But that section which you are going to select must be suitable for this area obtained. So based upon this area itself, we have to select one suitable I section. So what is our step 4? Selection of I section. So based upon what parameter you are going to select that section? So based upon area obtained from our step 3. So from which book you are going to select this I section? Based upon area from our steel table book. So step 5, basic parameters. So basic parameters, that is nothing but so in step 4 you have selected one suitable I section. For example, I'm going to take as ISHB some mm at the rate some Newton per mm. So for this selection of this I section, you have to write all the basic properties such as depth of the section, width of the section. You have to write all the basic parameters, thickness of the flange, thickness of the web, and next radius of gyration in ZZ direction, radius of gyration in YY direction. If it is required, momentum of inertia in ZZ direction, momentum of inertia in YY direction, etc. So in step 5, we should write all the basic parameters, and we have to sketch the diagram for that I section, saying that this is the depth, this is width of the flange. Sketch is very, very important. Width of the flange, thickness of the flange, thickness of the web, everything, every parameter you have to write and you have to sketch it. So this is our step 5. From step 6, it is similar to our model number 1. Step 6. So what is step 6? Effective length. Effective length. I think you know effective length formula is nothing but some factor is multiplied with given length. So this alpha is obtained based upon boundary conditions from so and so table. I think you are very familiar with that. So now step 7, classification of the section. Classification of section. So based upon what parameters you are going to classify the section? So based upon depth by width ratio. Depth by width ratio by using table number 10. So we're going to get whether it is class A or class B or class C or class D. Next, step 8, effective slenderness ratio. Effective slenderness ratio. As we're going to have two radius of gyration, that is in ZZ direction, the formula will be effective length divided by radius of gyration in ZZ direction and slenderness ratio in YY direction, that is L effective length divided by radius of gyration in YY direction. So based upon this, again we're going to solve for FCD by using that table 9A or 9B or 9C or 9D. So step number 9. Design compressive stress. So in step number 9, we are going to get two compressive stresses. One is due to slenderness ratio in ZZ direction and one is in slenderness ratio in YY direction. FCD1 whose units are Newton per mm square and second one is FCD2 whose units are Newton per mm square. So whichever is lesser among these two, lesser value, that will be our design compressive stress, Newton per mm square. So what is our last step? Step number 10. Step number 10, that is design compressive strength. It is denoted as P suffix D. It's nothing but design compressive stress is multiplied with area of the section. So we're going to get answer in newtons or kilonewtons. So this value should be greater than the design compressive strength which is given in the question. Now let us calculate some numerical problem on model number